insulated against the cold and her many Brexit critics.
Will Brussels buy it?
Who are across the Channel and in her own cabinet. Here she was in the heart of the City of London, setting out more than 20 months after we voted to leave the European Union, how she sees our future commercial relationship with our most important trading partner, the EU.
We are living through an important moment in our country's history. As we leave the European Union, we will forge a bold new positive role for ourselves in the world, and we will make Britain a country that works not for a privileged few, but for every one of us.
Now, although she never wanted us to leave the EU, she wouldn't be Prime Minister if it hadn't been for that referendum result. And she reminded us of the agenda she set when entering number 10.
We must bring our country back together, taking into account the views of everyone who cares about this issue from both sides of the debate. As Prime Minister, it is my duty to represent all of our United Kingdom.
Now, she stared down the Brexiters in her own party who say we can and should have literally nothing more to do with the European Court of Justice.
Even after we have left the jurisdiction of the European Court of Justice, EU law and the decisions of the ECJ will continue to affect us. But where appropriate, our courts will continue to look at the ECJ's judgments as they do for the appropriate jurisprudence of other countries' courts.
She repeated that there was no existing trade deal that could serve as a model for her. But that didn't mean, as EU negotiators have charged, that she's having her cake and trying to eat it.
If this is cherry-picking, then every trade arrangement is cherry-picking.
And when the going gets tough, so will she.
Yes, there will be ups and downs in the months ahead. As in any negotiation, no one will get everything they want. We will not be buffeted by the demands to talk tough or threaten a walkout, just as we will not accept the counsels of despair that this simply cannot be done.
Her proposals included superior rights for UK citizens to live, study and work in the EU and reciprocal rights for EU citizens to live, study and work here. Becoming members of European agencies that set the rules for the safety of airplanes, medicines and chemicals, and committing to keep to high safety, competition and labour standards for the goods we make so that our manufacturers have maximum cheap access to the giant EU single market. But some will see all that as continuing to be too much under the sway of Brussels.
What can you say to those people who voted for Brexit was the point of Brexit?
Yes, as I said in my speech, there will need to be some binding commitments, as there are in any trade agreement. In any trade agreement, you sit down and you work out what rules both sides are going to operate on, particularly on issues as I've said in here, on competition and state aid. That's what we'll be doing in negotiating this trade agreement.
As and when she leaves the stage permanently, Labour's leader would negotiate for both more and less interference from Brussels than she wants.
I think it will be judged as yet more confusion on the road to complications. What we need is a set of objectives which means that we can protect jobs in this country, and that when the Labour government, hopefully elected at the next election, is there and is able to end the mess of the internal market in our public services and not go down the road of the kind of trade deals that Liam Fox wants to do.
She hopes she's revealed enough of what she wants so that the rest of the EU will at last start those important trade talks. It would be the beginning of the most important journey she'll make.